Welcome back, everyone, to another week of our Monday Mindset Calls. So, I hope you guys had a hell of a previous week. I know we are getting extremely busy with all of our events for the holidays, all that good stuff. And I've noticed for myself, I've noticed for clients, this is a really interesting point of year in that there's a lot of exciting things happening. There's a lot of fun stuff happening. And it's also a time when people start kind of being introspective and reflecting on the year that they've had and all the things they've accomplished, maybe didn't accomplish. And we begin setting intentions for this next year, which is amazing. I have talked a lot to you guys about vision and the importance of having a clear and articulate vision for the future and how keeping that at the forefront of our thought process is so important. But there's another part of this that has to happen, and it's an absolute non-negotiable. And it really prevents you from just being a dreamer. And that is pairing this vision with action. Without action, we are simply just dreaming, wishing, playing make-believe. And the whole purpose of today's video is to help you take action now. And I use the term now. I want to emphasize that term because what happens around the New Year's time, and I use New Year's as an example, but it happens a multitude of other ways throughout the year. But this is a time when people like to push things out. They like to push things to the future and say, oh, future Brad will worry about this. In the future, I'll be at a point where life has slowed down and I'm ready. The environment has changed. And then I can make these bold plans and chase a better version of myself. But here's the catch. Most people are just waiting for the perfect time to start, waiting for better tools or resources, waiting for the weather to change. And the thing about waiting is you will always be waiting because the time will come when you agreed that you would act and you'll find a new reason not to do the thing. And there are a few ways. I was reading a book this morning, actually. It reminded me of this. There are a few ways that we take action. Many of us look back at things that we should have done. I should have behaved differently. I should have taken action at this point. If I could go back in time, I would have done this. Knowing now what I know, I would have changed these things. There's a quote that comes to mind, which is, let the dead bury the dead. And the past, yes, you can learn from it, but you can't change anything about it. So any time invested in being highly introspective on our past, it's kind of irrelevant because we can't take action there. And on the other hand, we can't take action in the future. And this is where most people screw up. Most people want to take action in the future. It's very easy to assume future you will rise to the occasion because it's a nice out for our ego. It's very convenient to say, oh, like I just haven't, taken action on that idea. I haven't actually started to track my nutrition. I haven't started training for that race. I haven't actually started to invest in my health, because the time isn't right, because my kids are busy with school, because everyone keeps getting sick, because my career is really important right now. And when we do this, it's a really easy way to protect our ego. Because we're giving ourselves the out of saying, I'm going to do it, but just not yet. In the future, I will. But is it possible to take action in the future? When have you ever taken action in the future? And what I mean by that is you can only take action right now in the present. You cannot control the future. You cannot transport yourself into the future and take action ahead of time. You can only take action where you are with what you have. And that is very important, where you are with what you have. Because we are not waiting for external resources or the external environment to change. What we want to realize is that we can actually control our external environment. And maybe you're not where you want to be right now. Maybe you're not in an environment where you feel it's conducive to the changes you want to have. It doesn't matter because you can begin acting those changes out to shape your environment, to create the circumstances around you that are optimal for you to thrive in. And I think that is a part where we really just drop the ball. And I've done this in the past with our business. I always had a reason of how it would be better in the future, and it prevented me from taking action for the longest time. And it was really because I was scared of trying and not being successful. I've done the same thing with my nutrition. I've done the same thing with my training. I've put off ideas I've had, hobbies I wanted to pursue because I said the time wasn't right. And one thing I got really abundantly clear on this last few years is understanding that there is no perfect time. The perfect time is right now. You can take an action today. We trick ourselves into thinking when things slow down, we are going to be a different person. But you are who you are. And the only way that changes is by changing your actions and changing your behaviors. So what I'm getting at is I want to challenge you guys to begin to challenge or to begin changing those behaviors, to begin auditing what you're currently doing. Look back at the past as a frame of reference. Has your way of being gotten you the outcomes that you wanted? No? Great. So learn the lesson from the past. Has the time ever been right where everything was optimal and ready? No? Great. Well, we understand the future is not really going to change anything. It's great to hope for it, but we can't just keep waiting. We have to take action on the vision. When we begin taking those actions, and it could be something so small as, you know what? I am going to track my food today. I'm not worried about tracking my food yesterday. I'm not worried about tracking my food tomorrow. I'm worried about right now. I'm going to make the next good decision I can. And then once I do that, the next step will reveal itself in what I should be doing. But we're not going to solve for the entire thing on the front end. We're not going to come up with the optimal system that cures us of every ailment and creates our perfect life. We are going to take a step, which is going to bring about the next logical step. And that is how we make really big progress. I was actually on a call with one of my mentees for business ownership the other day, and they were struggling with taking action. And they've been struggling with taking action for about 3 months now. And they began to list off all the things that they needed to get done before they could take the appropriate action. And I just finally just cut them off and illustrated the point that he has a problem, and that a lot of smart people have this problem, by the way. When you are really smart, you want to solve problems before they happen. You want to solve everything in the future before it gets here. And when you do that, you will ruminate, you will waste so much time just thinking without ever taking action. And then none of the things you thought about transpired anyways. So we've spent a lot of time building a plan that is irrelevant. And here's where dumb people who aren't really dumb have an advantage. We all know the person who has a business or who has a massive level of success, and you look at them and it's, how the hell are you so successful? You're kind of an idiot. They're not, though, because they don't think, they act. They take an action, they observe their outcome. Did it work? Did it not work? Then they take the next appropriate action, and they constantly solve problems. And that's what I'm getting at. That's the value of taking action in the present tense. Not worrying about the future, not worrying about the past, just worrying about the now. I want you to start interpreting this and applying it to your health and fitness, because it will have a massive ripple effect into every other area of your life. And I am just, I'm speaking to this topic today because it's been one that's been so paramount in changing my life. It has allowed me to meet people I never would have met. It has allowed me to take opportunities that never would have been here. And that was just by taking action, even when I was scared to take action. So even if you don't know if it's going to work, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. Even if it's saying, I don't know if I can maintain this level of input. I don't know if I can maintain this level of work. It doesn't matter. All we have to worry about is right now. And that's the beauty of now. So this week, I want to challenge you guys. What's the one thing you could take action on immediately? What's the one thing that we've been pushing off because it's kind of inconvenient to protect our ego? What's the scary thing? It could be tracking food. It could be signing up for that 10K. It could be showing up to the gym. It could be a multitude of things. But I want to challenge you and ask you what that is, and I want you to take action on it. Not tomorrow, right now. The one action you can take now. Have a great week. Let's all win, baby.